Hey guys, back again with another review. This time it's of Talk from 2004. There you go, Talk. Just in case you thought I meant T-A-L-K, Talk. Anyway, it came out in 2004, directed by Joseph Kahn, starring Martin Henderson from The Ring, Ice Cube from Barbershop and all this other crap, and Monet Mazur, and then you've got Matt Scults, who was in The Fast and the Furious and is in this. So basically, Ford tries to avoid being a part of motorcycle gangs, and he's gone to Thailand. And he's come back home to make things right with Shane and everything else. But in that process, he's been framed by Henry, played by Matt Scults, who basically kills Trey's brother of the Reapers and sets up Ford so that the Hellions can get their drugs and can basically go on their merry way and everybody else gets set up for it. So, as well as that, you've got the two vengeful biker gangs after Fold. You've got the FBI after Fold. And in order to live and be happy with Shane, he's got to basically clear his name and prove to people like Trey that it's because of Henry that he's in this situation, and that it wasn't him, but it was Henry who killed Trey's brother. So, the movie itself is really ridiculous. It's got bad acting, bad scripts. It's not believable, but let's be honest, we don't really need believability in these films, but it goes over the top. I'd say if you like The Fast and the Furious, you're not going to like this, because it's got comedy in it, but the comedy feels so forced. It's like, oh, there's this whole relationship, for instance, between Shane and Fold, and Fold goes back and sees Shane when he gets back. He goes up and talks to her when she's facing his house, and she turns around and goes, oh, and goes, oh, you left and all these police officers came in and busted for drugs because you were dealing drugs. Okay, fine, right? 10 minutes later, she's riding that pogo stick. You know what I'm saying? You don't see it, but she's all over him, and you're like, yeah, this is great. This is how it really happens in society. So you get to meet Matt Scults as Henry, right? He doesn't look intimidating. He just looks like he's got a bad haircut. He's got a team of guys who are basically other bikers. They do absolutely nothing, and they just sit around all day punching things and talking about weird stuff. And you're like, yeah, this is really a biker gang who all look really bad. The highlight of that biker gang is Jamie Presley, who is in tight leather and basically looks like a goth chick. And that's okay, but at the same time, she doesn't do much. Then you've got Trey, who's played by Ice Cube, whose gang, the Reapers, chase after Ford and his friends at one point. And they're right behind them, going ooh, 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 up the hill and down the hill. And all of a sudden, Ford and that just disappear, and the Reapers lose them completely. And they look around and they can't see him yet. Ford and his two friends are in like this tunnel thing. And you're just sitting there going, oh, come on, you know. There's another scene where Trey, Ice Cube, is chasing Ford, and his bike falls over after they've jumped on the train and driven across the train. They jump off, and Trey's bike collapses, right? So he collapses on the thing, and the train's coming at full speed. Ford has driven off, and he decides to drive back, drops his bike halfway to the train track, gets on the train track. The train's like, ooh. Just as the train's about to hit, he pushes Trey out the way and he jumps. And then there's this big, massive explosion. Yes, there's bad CGI in this movie. The CGI is absolutely dreadful. It's not even great. You know, I'm a big Fast and Furious fan, and I like racing movies. I do. I really do. But this movie is horrendous. Another scene near the end. He goes flying. Ford goes flying, and this bus is about to him, and the wheel goes on his face like this, but doesn't run him over. And he's like, he just sit there going, it's very cliched. The FBI agents are not even acting like FBI agents. One of them's got his hair's like, bong, and he's like, oh yeah, you know, oh yeah, you need to trust my driving skills, and then they crash, and you're like, this movie is so not funny. It's worth it for a little bit of the action, but even the action to me is a little bit, So I wouldn't recommend this film. Like I said, the characters are not fully developed. The acting's horrendous. How could Martin Henderson go from something great like The Ring, even though I don't like the American version, I prefer the Japanese version. He was good in the American version. In this movie, it's just awful. I would not recommend this movie to anyone unless you like one of four things. Bad movies, you like racing movies, and you don't care about story or believability or CGI as being awful. And if you like 40 million being wasted down the toilet. Because this movie had a budget of 40 million. How could it be this bad? Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And thanks for bearing with me on this horrible film. So, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Take care. Subscribe.